Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you don't already know, my name is Jayla. I am in a parking garage right now. I just left a gallery, and while I was going through, I was just thinking, we hold so much power than we realize. We hold so much more power within us than we even realize. There's not only power within your words, but there's power in your silence. There's power in staying still. There's power in doing nothing. There's power in walking away. There's power in not having a word to say. Just leaving it as it is. Leaving situations, leaving people, leaving environments exactly how you lived them. Just moving on. There's power in that. I think that so much we try to find ways to express ourselves. We try to find words to explain how we're feeling. We try to use words to try to get a point across to someone of how they hurt us, how they wronged us, how they disappointed us. Sometimes it's not about the words. Sometimes you don't need words. Sometimes you're supposed to just sit in it and walk away. Sometimes you're supposed to just sit in it in silence. Sometimes you're supposed to experience things, experience people, let people show you who they are, and then let that go. Release it back out into the universe, release that energy back out. We're not supposed to always have this energy exchange where we have to use our words, where we have to use our actions, where we have to use up our essence to feel like we have to protect ourselves. Sometimes there's power in just doing nothing and just letting things be how they are, letting people be how they are, letting things play out how they're supposed to play out, and exiting a situation with grace and silence. We don't have to constantly be at war and be at battle with things that we know aren't serving us. If it isn't serving you, know that it's okay to just walk away. It's okay to just be done. It's okay to just not say anything. Just be in silence and let it end. Everything in this lifetime has an ending point. Nothing here is going to be lasting forever. Everything is ever changing, ever evolving, ever transmuting. And knowing that it's okay. You don't have to yell, you don't have to scream, you don't have to fight, you don't have to over-explain yourself. There's power in you saying nothing. There's power in you walking away. It's not you being weak, it's not you giving up, it's not you quitting, it's not you letting the other person have a one-up on you. There's enough power with you just doing nothing. If anything, there's probably more power in you just walking away, you just being silent, just nothing, just quiet the noise. Because everything that you're saying, it's not going to be felt. It's not going to be experienced in the way that it needs to be. So release that out and know that you are safe and you are okay. Because you know in your heart of hearts your intentions, you know in your heart of hearts who you are. You don't need to go out here and try to convince anyone of anything. You already are that person. You already know what you possess. You already know what you deserve. And if a situation, if a person can acknowledge that without you having to lose yourself in the process, without you having to over-explain, without you having to fight, cry, be at war with them, then there's nothing else to do. Let it go. Release that energy back out because it wasn't meant for you in the first place. There's silence. You just doing nothing. You just being silent. You just walking away. You just protecting yourself, protecting your spirit, protecting your heart, your essence, your energy. That's the most powerful thing you can do. That's the most brave, courageous thing that you can possibly do because it's hard. It's hard. As human beings, we naturally want to defend ourselves. We naturally want to fight for ourselves. We naturally want to defend our character. We naturally want to explain. We naturally want to talk. It just makes sense. But sometimes It's just not necessary. And if anything, it's going to bring you down. It's going to tear down your spirit and tear down your heart, tear down your energy. If you're constantly trying to be at war with things that it's not necessary to be at war with. You're trying to do this, and in the end, you're not at war with that situation. You're not at war with this person. You're at war with yourself. You're only trying to over-explain. You're only trying to defend because you're not sure. Because you think maybe there's some truth in what they're saying. Maybe there's some truth in this experience. Maybe there's some truth in this environment. Maybe this is who I am. You're only trying to go the extra mile to try to make sure that the world knows that that's not the case, because you're not sure if that's the case. You're not really sure if this is who you are. You're not really sure if you're that person. So you're over-explaining, you're overdoing to try to compensate, and you don't have to do that. When you know yourself, when you're okay with who you are, when you're settled in your spirit, you're settled in your path, your purpose, silence is golden. Silence is all that you need. You don't owe anyone anything. Don't let anyone make you feel like you owe them an explanation, you owe them closure. The experience was the closure. The experience was the explanation. There's nothing more to discuss. There's nothing more to talk about. It's done. Let it be done. Don't keep digging up things that are meant to lie still. Let it lie still. Appreciate the silence. Appreciate the noise canceling itself out, because that's what's happening. These people, these environments, they're canceling themselves out, and you can release them in silence. Don't fight against it, because the universe is trying to help you have these things exit out of your life. Let it exit in a graceful way. Don't fight. Don't butt heads with it. I think that a lot of the times we think of ourselves as this little bubble, and if we think that something enters our bubble and it just doesn't really match up with who we think that we are, it doesn't really match up with what we feel in our spirit, but at the same time we want to keep convincing it that we are this person. We do deserve that. We are worthy. We are lovable. We are not in this lifetime to convince anyone of anything. We are not here to convince an experience of anything. If you know who you are, you move through space and you move through time knowing who you are. And anything that wants to align with you at the same time and wants to meet you where you are is welcome. Everything else can exit quietly, stage left. Goodbye. Goodbye. Because you're not needed. You're not needed. You're not welcome. Claim it within your spirit. Claim it within your heart. That anything that is not aligned with who you are to a core level is not welcome in your space. And it can exit out quietly in silence. Because you're not needed. You're not needed here. If it's not elevating you, if it's not making you feel better, if it's not changing your life for the better, we don't need it. We don't need you here. Goodbye. Bye-bye. You've overstayed your welcome, and it's time to move on. I love you guys so much, and I hope you enjoy your night, day, whatever it is for you. I hope to see you again soon. Bye, you guys.